Yo, what's up, Rebel Fam Bam? In this vlog, we're going to be taking a look at some of my favorite places in LA. I got into LA a little bit early, so first thing I had to do was get my matcha. I went to Memory Look, and it was pretty crowded, but I still was able to get my matcha and my matcha donut. It was delicious. I loved it. And then on our way to our next stop, we seen this guy. This guy always remind me of Scarface. So I just had to show you guys what I've been saying for years. Next up is the Broad Museum. This is one of my favorite museums in LA. It's always a cool vibe. It's always something new. And one of the things I like so much about the Broad is that it's free admission. So no matter what time you get there, just make sure you go when it's free admission. I like to go here and see new work or old work that might inspire me. And today in particular, I wanted to see a few of Basquiat's pieces and some Jeff Koons, so that's going to be the highlight of this trip. Honestly, this is my first time seeing Basquiat's pieces in person, and that's one of the main things that was so dope to me, was how detailed these pieces were. And next up is Jeff Koons, and initially I didn't really check into Jeff Koons too tough just because of how trendy and everything it was, but when I really did my research and saw that a lot of these pieces were done in the late 80s or early 90s, like this Michael Jackson piece, this was done in the late 80s I believe, and that's just so dope to me that he's been doing it for this long. And these pieces were made out of steel or porcelain, which is dope. So yeah, I have a newfound respect for Jeff Koons. Next up is this piece, and this piece is probably one of my favorites, and I'm so mad that I didn't get the artist's name. Like, I saw it, but I forgot it, so hopefully I'll find it and I'll be able to put it on the screen here. But this piece was just so dope to me because it has so many intricate pieces. For example, like this, there's so many fine lines and little pieces that you wouldn't see to the naked eye, which is so dope to me. So yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces. And then we have our neon section, which reminds me of Vegas. So I just had to show you what we had going on here. And of course, you know, we had to exit through the gift shop. The Broad has a great gift shop. It has a lot of the more popular artist pieces, and it's pretty good. I didn't get anything because it's kind of overpriced, but that's typical of LA. Next stop is Little Tokyo. And if you know anything about this little hallway, there's been many photo shoots done here. So Little Tokyo is one of my favorite places to go in LA. This bookstore right here is my absolute favorite store in LA. Don't laugh at me. My Japanese is terrible and I'm terrible at pronunciation, so I just call it Ken Ken. And one of the things I love so much about this bookstore is that it has art supplies, writing utensils, drawing utensils, all types of things. As you can see, it has a large selection of markers and pens and pencils and everything that an artist would need. It's just so amazing to find this little shop here with all of these extra things. And then we also have the sketchbooks and the sketch papers and papers straight from Japan and moleskins, and I can go on and on and on. But as you can see, I really love this store. And we can't forget about the books. Check out the manga selection. It's a massive, huge selection of manga. And also, we also have the magazine section with all of the good magazines straight from Japan. This area in particular in Little Tokyo is called Weller Court. I spent many a days just reading books out in Weller Court or eating food. It's always a good vibe here. Next stop is the Little Tokyo Mall. Now this one is pretty cool. As you can see, it has the Hello Kitty vending machine and then all these other vending machines in this one particular store. Next up is Jungle. So Jungle basically is the Little Tokyo Mall. It has 3 different stores, and each store has its own specialty. And as you can see, it has over 10,000 anime items. Of course, my favorite store is the figurine and toy store. I always go in here and go crazy. It's so many cool things, there's so many different things that if I had space and time, I would buy everything and have a house full of toys. As you leave the mall, you'll pass Rift, and if you're into sneakers, this is the store for you. But my next stop is the Japan Village Plaza. It's always lively and hustling bustling with a lot of people. There's a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants, a lot of food places, and a lot of cool things to do. And of course, we have the most famous store. It's the Sanrio store. There was a line all the way outside of the whole court just to get inside this store, of course. Kohl's is one of my favorite stores, but it was crowded, so I couldn't really go in. Now, this store is called Japangelis. I remember when this store was just a kiosk, so it's good to see that it has its own dedicated spot. Pop Killer is one of my favorite stores on the outside of the court. And as you can see, it's kind of like a thrift shop, but it also has like selected hand-picked items. It's pretty expensive, but you will find some cool stuff in here. And it also has a lot of knickknacks and socks and a lot of cool things. So when I was living here, I always bought something from here. Living in downtown LA, it could be stressful at times, and that's why I love Little Tokyo so much, because I know I can always come here and have a chill day and find something cool and be inspired. So that's one of the main reasons why I love Little Tokyo. It's just because it's chill, it's cool, it's futuristic, and yeah, I just love it. So, and every time I'm not in LA, I always miss Little Tokyo. And it changed a little bit. There used to be skate stores and other stores that are pretty cool, but all in all, it's still a cool vibe. It's time to get some varnishing in, and then we'll get back to Little Tokyo. I used to end my Little Tokyo days with food from one of the various restaurants, but today we're gonna get some matcha ice cream. So I went to Midori Matcha to get the swirl matcha ice cream cone. And then me and Sade, we just chilled out and vibed and just took it all in. A great day in Little Tokyo. I was gonna end my day, but then I realized that there's one more stop I had to make. The Last Bookstore. I love this store because I love books, and they also have a wide selection of albums and records. Yeah, there she go again. I think that's a sign. One of the things I love about the Last Bookstore is that their prices are very, very affordable, and you have so many books that are under $5, and you can go crazy. But because I'm traveling, I can't pick up what I usually pick up. I'll usually pick up 5 to 10 books, but because I'm going back home, I can only browse. One of the other things I love about this store is the rare book section. And as you can see, they have The Naked Soul of Iceberg Slim. And what's funny about this is one of the first books that I ever read through. And I don't know why I was reading these books. I actually read all of his books when I was young, and I was just enthralled with the stories and everything. And I think that's why I am how I am, which is funny, but yeah. This is another book that I checked out that I would have purchased if I had space in my luggage. Being downtown LA, you'll always see something cool in a storefront in a window, like this dragon right here. I was just passing by, and it just made me realize how inspiring and how much energy and vibes I get just being downtown LA. So now it's time to officially end my day. And I had to end it with one of my favorite restaurants, which is Red Chicks. It wasn't here when I was living here, but I visited a few times. As you can see, the food is delicious. The texture of the chicken, the texture of the fries, everything is good. I would suggest go to the medium because it is pretty hot, but it's definitely delicious. So these are a few pickups I got from Little Tokyo, and I'm gonna put them to action tonight when I go out. So I decided to end my night with a Hollywood party. It was an Afrobeats party. It was called Sprung, and it was the Valentine's Day party, and it was thrown by Tribe Vibes. So that's Tribe Vibes on Instagram. So the next day is all about Santa Monica. So I went to the beach, and I decided I was gonna chill out in Santa Monica all day long. My first stop was 3rd Street. I used to work in Santa Monica, so 3rd Street always has a special place in my heart because it reminds me of the times when I was young and working in LA, living in Culver City and working in Santa Monica. So since I was here, I decided I was gonna go to the AMC theater to see the new Bob Marley movie and see what all the rave was about. The movie itself was, I don't know, it was okay. I mean, it was good. It was a good effort, but I think they could have done more and been a little bit more, I guess, authentic. Like, I'm not gonna lie, one of the things that bothered me was the guy's wig. Like, it really was throwing me off. But to his credit, he did sound like Bob, and he did personify a few things about Bob. But yeah, I'll give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Let's get some more varnishing done, and then we'll get back to Santa Monica. So for me, Santa Monica has always been one of those places where I can just go and relax, and no matter what's going on in my life, no matter the ups and downs that life brings me, I can go to the beach, go to Santa Monica, catch a vibe and just cool out and think about life and reflect. So Santa Monica always holds a special part in my life, especially because I worked here, and every day I would just walk through the promenade, go to the pier, and just reflect on life, and it always kept my spirit calm and kept me in good graces. Yeah, and that pretty much wraps up my LA trip. If you appreciate this kind of content and you appreciate these vlogs, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll do my best to keep them coming whenever I make my trips, because I do travel a lot, but it's never on my head just to do a vlog. But I'm gonna get better about that.